legends, welcome back to Chasing Tangles Fishing Adventures. We have done a rushed mission, 24-hour trip to Eddystone Point, doing some diving. Pretty ugly out wide. The weather's been pretty wild the last week, so we're going to get out there, have a bit of a crack and see if we can get some big bulls today. So hang tight and hopefully you enjoy. Dive spot number one, about 12 to 14 metres of water. It was pretty late in the afternoon. I think it was about 6:30, quarter to 7 in the evening. So we was definitely keeping a bit of pace with looking around. Managed to locate a few crays in this spot. I've got in a nice position to go in for the shot and I've got hold of him and pretty smooth, sort of pulled him straight out of there. And what a start. A nice size fish there, probably around that 1.8 kilo mark. A nice way to start. Put him in the bag and kept pushing on. As the afternoon rapidly disappeared and darkness was slowly approaching, there was definitely a bit of spring in our step, trying to see if we could nestle a few more before day one was slowly closing in on us. I've located this cray here in front of that crack. I've gone in for the grab and he's fairly locked up in the back there. So just slowly but surely, bit of prying and just hold that grip, and I do manage to get him out. A nice fish, a bit of an upgrade from the first one, so that's always a win. Going absolutely ballistic as they do. Just got to make sure you get a good grip on them because they can sometimes get away. Definitely a nice fish there. Pretty happy to put that one in the bag and let's go. Came across this cray here. I've approached from the left there, hoping I could nestle in, and he's just touched it. They were so sensitive and alert, and wham, he is in reverse. We'll catch that one on the flip side because he is a no-go for today. A nice sized bull up the back there. Arms are probably 2 metres too short, but that is what it is. Spent plenty of time looking around, checking out caves, rock holes, crevices. There was no shortage of these sea urchins, and my word, they are some big bastards down there. Not entirely sure if people eat them or if they're rubbish or if they're a pest, but feel free to drop a comment below on your thoughts if they're any good or not, or if we should give them a crack in the future. Just dodging these prickly bloody sea urchins, as you can see. Just a wee little tacker there perched up, but always cool to see. They're a beautiful creature, plenty of fish life and everything. Certain spots were more alive than others. As you can see, it's a pretty healthy sort of spot here. Plenty of little tackers. Just give him a little touch on the antenna there, and my word, he's got the reverse game down pat. Not 100% sure if you'll be able to see that one there at the front of that ledge. I was so light shy, I was trying to avoid using the torch where I could. I've gone in for the grab from the side. I've managed to get a good hold on him. And now it's just hold on and hopefully can get him out. He's slowly coming out. There you go. Another lovely fish. This spot here was pretty special. Bit of a honey hole. Look at all them feelers. Lots and lots of little ones, but needless to say, it definitely gets your blood pumping. I could spot one decent bull in amongst them all. There was just lots of little ones to pry through. He was not in a good spot there, so I've just touched his feelers, hoping he'll push around this rock and I can get him somewhere where he's a bit more accessible. They can be cunning at times. He was playing a bit of cat and mouse over the top of this big bommy to get him into a decent spot where I could go for a nice clean grab. Sometimes this game doesn't always work in our favour, but in this case it did, and he ended up prying right back beside all these little ones. He's right at the very front there, so I go in for the shot. Pretty clean. I've got hold of him. My word, he was going ballistic, as you can see. Tried to grab hold with the second hand. I've got a good grip on him now, so pretty confident. And there you go. A nice fish. Nice male one there. Not an absolute donkey. Probably around that 2.2 kilo, so pretty happy with that one. As you can see, the weather up top was pretty average. The rain rolled in. Made things a little bit more difficult. She was pretty dull down there, so it makes things slightly harder. I've located this cray here and get into a nice clean spot to go in for the grab because my word, they were trigger happy. As soon as you would make any movement at them or the light, they would be so far out of there. It was crazy. Oh, I've got a pretty good grip on this one, so pretty confident this point sand and shit was going everywhere as they do. A nice fish there. Pretty happy with that one. Yeah, it was definitely unusual how trigger happy they were with the light and how sensitive they were. So definitely was trying to avoid putting it on them. Obviously this one here, he didn't have really too far he could go where I couldn't reach him. So got into position and there you go. I've got a nice solid grip on that one. Once I got this one out, as you can see, going fairly well mental. He's discharged the legs there, which is not ideal, but it's alright. We'll chuck them in the catch bag as well and sort them out. There was no shortage of these sea urchins. They're obviously becoming a bit of a pest and a problem at Eddystone Point. So something to be vigilant about there. Just a wee little tacker there. He was light happy too. He was out of there. Have a look at that cray. Sitting right out the front of that rock ledge there. Got into a nice position and going for the shot. Pretty clean sort of grab. I've got a good hold on that one. At my word, they can take some prine out, even the smaller ones, if they get locked in under them ledges. So just take your time, wiggle him back and forth, bit of jiggling. You can generally get them out, but just being able to maintain your grip on them. And slowly but surely, I've got him to come out. Just sort of hold off on sliding this one in the bag to give you a good look at them. How they look underwater, they look completely different to what they do look, you know, in a fish shop or, you know, once they've been boiled. They're a pretty impressive creature. Came across this starfish here. It was literally like it was cardboard almost. It was very strange. Not entirely sure if it was dead or whether that's just sort of the way they are, but yeah, it was strange. Slowly but surely, cruise on up to the surface. It was pretty ugly up top, so got a quick tow from the fellas on the dive hose, make life a little easier where you can. And back to the boat, and yeah, time to finish off the day. So we're at the tail end of another video, legends. Thanks for tuning in. This was our first dive at Edison Point. Thanks everyone for the support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below.